November 2nd, 2021 meeting of the New Smyrna Beach Animal Control Board. We're in the City Commission chambers. Secretary, call the roll, please.
James Belt is absent. Rob Leonard.
Here.
Christian Tobin.
Here.
Kelly Myers, absent. Brianna Mott.
Here.
That concludes the roll call.
Okay. Had we heard from Member Myers?
I have not.
Okay. Board members had an opportunity to review the minutes of the August 3rd meeting. You've had a chance to review those. Do we have any changes, comments, or additions? If not, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Move to approve.
Do we have a second?
No.
Say yes.
Oh, yes.
Call the roll, please.
James Belt's not here. Kelly's not here. Rob Leonard.
Yes to approve.
Christian Tobin.
Yes.
Brianna Mott.
Yes.
Motion carries. Minutes are approved. For the minutes of the October 19th meeting, paragraph 2, just a typo there. Chairman Rob Leonard instead of Bob.
Did I do that again?
Yeah, it's a typo this time.
Okay.
And you made notation about the dog's name being Nayla and not Lily, so that takes care of that then, right? Okay. Any changes or discussion about the minutes as presented? We have a motion to approve the minutes of the October 19th meeting.
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Yes.
Call the roll, please.
Rob Leonard.
Yes to approve.
Christian Tobin.
Yes.
Brianna Mott.
Yes.
That concludes the voting.
Okay, an old business. Ms. Mott, are you familiar enough and prepared to comment on these intake figures and graphs and all from the...
The graph is Megan's, and then the numbers on the back of the graph were mine from the shelter. So that's everything that we've taken in, whereas the graph is just the city.
Okay, and the chart, there's a couple of terms that are used there that I'm not familiar with. I don't know if other members may be, but on page 12, transfer in.
So those are animals that were transferred in from other jurisdictions, whether it be another part of Florida, Georgia, anything that's come into our shelter as a transfer. And the same goes for transfer out, so transferring to another shelter or rescue.
Okay, and then below that, seized/custody.
So seized custody is when a police officer or animal control officer brings us an animal, whether it be owners in custody, owner in hospital, owner surrendered through ACO. Those are all fall under the seized custody portion. Or like dangerous dog, any of those.
Okay. Also under old business and reviewing the information, I assume Mr. Belt is still involved with the TNR group? Is he? Do you know that to be the case or not?
I'm not sure if he's still involved with Concerned Citizens or not, because I know he's also taken up the job in Daytona for TNR. So I don't know how much involvement he has with Concerned Citizens.
I just wondered how up to date we were provided with this information about the caregivers.
Oh, that I keep that up to date. That's, yeah. I mean, the only problem with I have keeping that up to date is if they move or, cats die off over a while, like those total numbers are very inaccurate.
See on page 16, Kim Russell. I guess her and Leanne Bennett are next door. And Kim Russell passed away. I say it's safe to assume that her and Leanne Bennett, there's some overlap there in care for those animals. Do you know her?
I have no idea.
No.
Yeah, unless they reach out to me to keep these up to date, Pat just gives me new colonies that I added.
Tanja here on page 19. I know she moved out of that neighborhood probably 2 years ago. I just wonder if we know, is anyone caring for those animals? Because there is not a neighbor listed there as a caregiver as there was with Ms. Russell.
I mean, I'm sure the cats are survivors, so I'm sure even if somebody's not, I'm sure they wandered off to somewhere who is feeding them, or they found, different mice or whatever to hunt. I'm not.
Well, my reason for bringing this up is twofold. One is just so we have up-to-date information as much as possible. But the other thing is, if these animals are not being cared for, in other words, nobody's putting out food for them.
I mean, with the return to field program, we take cats and neuter them and take them back where they may or may not have somebody providing food for them, but they're surviving there, so they're obviously doing okay at it.
Well, I don't know. I think I would probably take issue with that because we're right back to having feral cats looking for something to eat, going onto other people's property and not being fed at a central location and not being fed at a particular time or time of the day. And that was, kind of one of the purposes behind this. So essentially you've got feral cats not being cared for as we were told they would be.
I think the bigger part of this was to make sure they get fixed, so this way they won't reproduce and create a greater number than what's already out there. Because
Sure.
if they're being sustained on whatever dumpster they decide to dive in, at least they're not reproducing, creating a bigger problem.
Well, and I won't recuse myself, but I'll tell you right up front, this situation is right across the street from me. And I've seen an uptick in cats on my property, and we don't leave food out at night. Our cats are all fed indoors, but they're making their presence known on other neighbors' property as well. So here you have a situation where we started something, and it seems like to me it's not being followed through with, so we're not accomplishing one of the things we were told this program was to do. Certainly neutering is most important, and I'm sure that's been done with most of these animals because they look to be older.
Over the
There's
years,
a pretty ratty looking bunch of cats.
over
making
the
their way-
years, I've tried to send out letters or contact people to give me updates, and people just don't contact. So
Yeah.
if they don't want to tell me what's going on, or hey, I'm moving, or whatever, without me knowing, I can't do anything about it.
Well, nobody's holding our feet to the fire about this,
Yeah.
but certainly one of the other reason for us as board members having this information for us is just a matter of reference when people say, hey, is anybody taking care of all these cats at the corner, so-and-so and so-and-so? And a lot of these places, of course, I recognize the addresses and I know the colonies. So likewise, when we have a colony that's not being cared for, especially when it's across the street from me, I'm certainly going to be aware of it. Only one other neighbor has said something to me about it. And again, they just noticed the cats coming up in their yard, not doing any damage particularly.
Yeah.
But, so I doubt Tanya took all those cats with her.
Well, she also runs the Furry Nation Salvation Animal Rescue.
You know. But you haven't had any discussions with her to know what they're doing. I mean, because she had a pretty good sized colony there. It lists 10 cats. I'm quite certain there were more than that. I actually adopted 2 of them, made indoor cats out of them. So, okay. Any other old business? Okay. Under new business, we want to adopt this calendar at this time.
Okay. We can, if everybody's okay with it. I also was curious, I think we had made an adjustment at some point to go to 2:45 to accommodate someone's work schedule. Do we want to continue that, or does it need to be shifted to the half-hour.
Was that Mr. Belt's schedule that was an
I
issue?
don't know.
I believe that was Lori's, because she was the teacher.
Oh, that's
she
right,
was
that's
getting
right.
out of
Yeah.
school at 2:30, because they originally at 2:30, I think, and then she was getting out of school at 2:30.
Yeah, if this is okay with everybody, we can leave it alone. If you prefer to change it, now's the time to do so.
Tuesdays are good. I always remember it because on Taco Tuesday, after tacos,
Yeah, I don't want to change it today.
I come to a meeting, so that's good. Okay, and we have a motion to approve the board calendar as presented.
Motion to approve?
A second?
Yes.
Ms. Langdon, you call the roll.
Rob Leonard,
Yes to approve?
Christian Tobin,
Yes.
Brianna Mott,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, any other new business? Okay, staff reports, shelter intake.
That's all stuff we already went over.
Yeah, that's the information we have before us?
Yeah.
That's all current, okay. The TNRs, we got that, the calendar, we got that, okay. Do we have any follow-up or any feedback from the dangerous dog hearing?
Nope,
Never had any contact with anyone as to why they didn't show, or,
haven't heard anything. They haven't been home, so I have no idea.
I know Patty had. Okay. Any board member comments? Guys, got any questions or
Not right now.
something you'd like to see us doing, or?
There is one
Not
agenda
now.
item under board under comments for the locations of possible dog parks that everybody was supposed to consider.
Oh, I see, that's on the next page, okay. So is there one up for approval, or is there something we're supposed to be
I
looking at?
believe that it was requested that the board members consider possibilities for places to put them so that we could bring that before the city commission if appropriate.
Yeah, I think the intent there was because there had been discussion that we had not been included on preliminarily or during the time when it was being passed by the city commission, for us to have an opportunity to offer input. So that was the reason for that. So we don't have one pending, so we really don't have any action to take on.
No, there's no urgency, it's just suggestions at this point.
Sure, okay, good. Now, where do we stand with the park on Turnbull Street? Is there no-
Permanently closed,
Permanent closed, the whole park or just the dog part of it?
dog park.
Well, it's temporarily closed, it has not been permanently
It's
moved.
posted on there permanently.
The commission has not had a vote on that, I would
Because
say.
the sign on there is the one that says permanent.
Okay. The commission has not officially voted on it, but they have temporarily closed it. It does look like it will remain permanently closed.
When you say they permanently closed it, and the commission didn't do it, who did it?
The commission moved to temporarily close it, and then they will vote whether to permanently close
Okay.
it. And that's kind of the point of this, considering placement of dog parks. Maybe at the next meeting, the board members could come with ideas that would be incorporated into a staff report to the city commission, because I know that they would eventually be looking for dog parks.
So, just to clarify, this was a objection by neighbors? How many? Like, how many complaints? Do
I
you
don't know, I was not involved in it.
Do you know anything about it?
I know a petition was handed in through
Oh,
numerous.
okay, so there was a number of people then probably.
Yeah.
Officer Wilkes, were you ever called upon to investigate an incident at the park?
No.
Have you heard or been made aware of anything?
No. Now, whether something happened or not while I was going through the academy and I wasn't here and another officer handled it and never told me, I don't know. But I have not handled anything at the park.
Well, what I'm thinking is that if we are looked to offer input, it'd be nice to know why this happened, why it was closed. If there wasn't a single incident, was there a number of incidences? Or did somebody just decide it was not in my backyard kind of deal and pass the petition around? You know,
I think if you review the commission meetings, it would indicate that it was too close. It was within 10 feet of a neighbor's house, and that there was a lot of noise issues, smell issues, and complaints along those lines. The location just ended up being too close to the neighbors,
yeah,
the design-wise.
okay. Okay. We have no public, so I guess there's no public comments. And any other business to come before the board? If not, then we stand adjourned. Thank you all for coming.